Hey guys, what's up? And today, by popular demand, I finally have a tech video for you. Don't worry, the psychology videos aren't stopping, but I'm going to be doing another series of tech videos since a lot of you guys seem to want that, and it's what you initially subscribed for. And obviously, I'm into keeping the audience happy, so that is what we're going to do. Anyway, onto the subject of today's video. What we're going to talk about is the user profile system as it exists in Drupal 7. Now, I'm going to be doing a series on how to create a social network in Drupal. Hopefully, if I can find if I can put together a social network that I think qualifies as a social network, then hopefully this will become part of a series. So hopefully down the line this will become part of a series. But we need this as a basis, because what we're going to talk about today is, like I said, the user profile system in Drupal, and having good user profiles is the basis for a lot of social networking services. You have sort of a central place that you get all your data on your user profile, where all your content's pulled in and pulls in other people's content. So that's what we're trying today. We're not going to get into any of that social stuff yet. We're just literally going to talk about user profiles. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. So in Drupal in Drupal 7, they changed the UI for profile management, so that it's not its own kind of separate entity like it used to be. It's all part of the new field UI stuff that's sort of brought over from CCK, and it integrates with that, so you can use and play with and manipulate profile fields in the same way you can manipulate the type of field that used to be unique to CCK in Drupal 6. It also takes any of those field type add-on modules that are available. So, and that is definitely something I'll be showing. Anyway, with all that said, let's stop talking and go to the screen. So I think a good basis before we start would be to look at some of the modules I've enabled, because although you don't need any modules in it or any contributed modules enabled for profiles work, because they're a core function in Drupal, I've got some extra stuff enabled for the convenience of this video, like the administration menu module, the overlay module, and some other stuff. So I think that would be a good basis to start. And if you know, if you watch my Drupal field management screencast, which I'll put a link to in the description, you know that like CCK, when you want a different type of field, you get a module. So there's a link module for link fields, and things like that. So going to our modules, the ones I've got now are field UI. You need that enabled to do any of this pretty much. I've got image enabled, because we're going to be allowing a profile image. I've got list enabled, which is one of those field types, which I'm not sure if we're going to be using, but it's good to have it there as the option. I've got number enabled, so we can use number types, which is going to be important later. And I've also got the overlay module enabled. So those are, like I said, every time you want to use a field type and it's not in the core module, you just need to download it. So we're going to go into the configuration now and look at the stuff. So the new profile stuff's under configuration and account settings. And this is all basic user profile stuff. What's the name of the anonymous user? What can people enable an administrative role? Who can delete accounts? Who can create who can register accounts? It's pretty important for our social network. When I say visitors, so anyone can set up an account. And this stuff right here, this picture stuff, because like I said, we're going to be talking about pictures quite extensively. When we're not going to enable the signatures because we just don't have that in a lot of social networks, but we are going to enable the picture, so you have some pretty simple stuff. Where in the content directory do you want the pictures to go, or do you want a default picture before someone uploads a picture? But then we get into this bit here, this large, medium, and thumbnail. They come from the image management options, which is image cache that's been integrated into core. So if we go and again back to configuration and then media and image styles, we can control those presets that were available in that list and add new ones. This isn't a screencast about image cast, but it's important because user profile pictures are visible. So on that profile screen, you had the option to say what dimensions and pictures do you want to allow people to upload, and then what do you want to do with it, because you can have different sizes of images at different places on the site, so we can either add other ones or we can edit the existing ones, and you can see all these do is scale the image down to that respective size, which obviously you can change, but you can do other stuff with them as well. But like I said, that's not what the focus of this video is. So let's go back to the users, and down here is where it starts to get interesting. There's a whole section where when someone receives an email from the site, which is on a social networking site is quite common. When do you want people to receive emails, and what do you want the body of the email to say? And you've got these tokens that you can write content and then put them in as placeholders where you want the actual data to go. So you've got the placeholder for the confirmation URL when the user registers, and these are just your usual Drupal tokens. So if we save that, those are just the basic user profile settings. But the new stuff is, if you look at these tabs up the top here, these are the CCK tabs: manage fields and manage display. So this is basically where we can add any type of field that we want, and I don't know why the row weight display, but we're just gonna hide them, and we can reorder fields and do all kind of stuff. And in a minute, in the theming section, we're going to talk about how you display those, but we can do all sorts of stuff. So if I wanted to add, for example, sorry guys, if I wanted to add, for example, birthday, and then because you saw that I had the data field enabled, I've got access to all these field types here in the user profile screen, as I do when I'm creating content types. You didn't used to have this in Drupal, and it's a really nice new architecture. So I'm just going to select date in this case, because obviously it's a date field, and then I have I did have date pop-up enabled, but it looks like I don't anymore, so I'm just going to select text field. And then, like any content type, it's going to give me the option to choose granularity, and obviously, because it's a birthday, I'm not going to choose an end date, and in this case, I'm not going to cast the dates, but I'm just going to have year, month, and day. Save that. It's then gonna give me all the default field settings, but here's the crucial bit for the profile context. All this other stuff that we see on this page is pretty much the same if you're creating a content type, but obviously because it's a user profile and we want users to give us this data when we're registering, we definitely want to select this display on registration form, so they have to give us that data when they register, and again we'll look at what that looks like. We can then define the type of date we want according to where we are. So I'm just going to give us one of these default date options for now, but we'll certainly go back and edit that, and then we can save that just like a normal field. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video and go ahead and add some more fields, and I'll come back and show you what they are. I'm gonna add some more fields so we can have some stuff to manipulate when we're theming. See you in a minute, guys. Okay, so through the magic of video, time has whooshed by, and I've just created some simple fields here just to show you the flexibility. Obviously, this depends on which types of field you have enabled. But for example, I've just got some standard text fields. This interest field can accept more than one option. Got a biography, which is a long text field. We've got a text box for gender, which has obviously the two predefined values in it, and that's some example. When we do the social network, we'll add other fields such as links with the link field module. But for now, that's what we're on to be doing. I think we're just gonna take a quick look at the registration form, since we said that the registration is open to anyone in the world. But before we do that though, we're just gonna take a quick look at the managed fields section. Obviously, this is the same again to the managed fields option in CCK, and you can override some of these theme settings, but those are the defaults, and you can rearrange the order in which they come. So we're just going to put first name and surname up there, and you can, for some of them, you can change the format that they're in. So if you've got a long text field which is a bio, you can show a shorter version of it if it's an unlimited text field. And I've also allowed more than one option to be available in the interest field, so we could do that as well. You can also set some goal history where it'll show the recent activity on the site, but we're not actually going to look at that in this video. Like I say, if we get into some of the other social networking stuff, maybe we will, but not for now. So let's save that. I'm gonna log out of the site, and we can take a look at what it would be like for a new user registering. So you can see we've got all the fields in the order that we specified it with. Got as you free username and an email address. That's Drupal core stuff. But then we've got our date field, and it shows you what format it wants it in. We've got this gender, male and female, and then, like I said, we can add multiple multiple interests. The bio text must be on the next page because it's a little bit of a different field, but we can indeed see that our fields are on the registration form, and it looks quite okay, doesn't it? I'm gonna pause the video again, populate some of this data for my own user account. Then we're going to talk about how to alter the display of that data. So I'll be back again in a second. Okay, I'm back again. As you can see, I've been through and populated this data, including an image which is going to get scaled down as per the preset we chose. But let's save this and look at the result. Okay, so if we go ahead and view that, we can see it's fine. It's what we chose in that CCK field display, but it looks a bit bland. So let's use some custom theming to brighten it up a bit. So we're gonna open up Coda, and there are several files you need to know about when you're theming Drupal profiles. There's Drupal-profile.tpl.php, and that's the controller file for when you hit a Drupal profile. That's the file that pulls in a load of other files. And to customize this, just like with any module, you open it and put it in your own theme, and then that'll be used as override. You may have to clear the cache, but generally it will just be used as overrides straight off. And as you can see, we've got some nice instructions here, but we're gonna those aren't all that clear, so we're gonna discuss it. I also want to mention quickly that I'm using the Garland theme, and normally you wouldn't modify core themes, but I'm just using this for demonstration. So just for quickness, it's easier to do it like this. So this is the default output for a user profile. It just prints out this print render content user profile, and that just outputs data according to CCK. But what if you want to have control over the markup? Well, just to prove this works, beneath all this user profile data, I'm just going to put word of test. Refresh, and you see we have test at the bottom there. So we do indeed have control in this file. Let's look at how we can exert that control. Well, instead of using this print render user profile, we can get rid of that and do something a little bit more custom. If we look at this documentation for how to output fields, it's nice when you know what it is, but it can be a bit confusing. So I'm gonna show you. What we need to do is to output data. It comes from what we call the render function. So which you can say we're gonna print the user's first name to start off, because that was one of the fields set up. So we're just going to say print render. And what do I want it to render in this position? Well, we want something from the user profile. And what information do we want from the user profile? Well, we want a field what field name do we want? Well, if we go back to our configuration, and account settings, we can see that we called our field we're just gonna output the first name, so we just called it first underscore name. So let's put that in our function. First underscore name. Close out our thing. So to get user profile data, you just say PHP print render user profile, and then the machine name of the field you want to print. If we go ahead and save that, it's not a global array. I bet you guys caught that straight away. We just it's just a regular array, and we want to get the field of the first name out of it. So let's try again, third time lucky. And we do indeed get the field name. Now, how can we get the label? Let's just cover that for a second. We get the label because, well, in our manage fields CCK tab interface, we said show the label above the value. But what what if we want more control over that? Well, if we look at the files that's sitting over there, the files you can use, that's what the user profile does, item.tpl.php files for. Here we control what an individual field looks like. So in this case, the title of the field is outputting as a DD, and the value is outputting as a DT. We're just going to take out the fail. The title, hit save, refresh. And maybe we need to clear cache because that's a new file. If it doesn't work, clear cache because that's a common fix for a lot of things in Drupal when it's not picking up new files that you've just edited. Hopefully now, if we refresh, we're still getting the field name, aren't we? I wonder if I'm a little puzzled as to why we're still getting that field name, but regardless, I showed that you definitely can control the output. So let's show you a bit more practical example of that. Obviously, we can now control the markup that's around each individual field. So if we wanted, we could put the first name of the user in a h1 tag. And then we could open an we could just output the user's bio, whatever field you've got in that list, you can output here. So we could just say output the user's bio in its own div. Just use one that. Actually, no, we won't do that. I was just going to use the align tag for demonstration purposes, but that's probably not even okay for demonstration purposes. So we'll just wrap that in a div. And then the name of that field is just bio, so we'll call field underscore bio. And we've got the output of our bio. Notice our when we wrapped the first name in a h1 tag, it did indeed output an h1 text. So we have control over the markup of this user profile page now, which means you also have control over the CSS. So I know that was a lot of information, guys. Very long video, but I hope that gave you at least a introduction to using user profiles in Drupal 7 and some introduction to how you can theme them. So thanks for watching this video, guys. Visit my website, address it down below, tom-rodgers.com. Whole bunch of tech content over there. And thanks for watching. Thumbs up this video if you want more of them. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.